I got to go with the Steelers against the spread. I'm taking the Bills, man. Aaron Rodgers is as an underdog. I'm taking that all day against a shot-out Drew Brees. I like the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, Thomas, you had the better me this time, man. A flawless 4-0 slate on the show. I know you had a beautiful payday ending with the Chiefs on Monday night as underdogs, which I don't know how I doubted that and how the bookmakers allowed that to happen, but congrats to you, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Not the greatest week last week, but it wasn't terrible as you tried to make it out to be on the podcast. I'm going to try and stay a little bit more grounded than you this week because I know that kind of came up to bite you a little bit, maybe some bad karma. And I'm going to be nice to you. I'm not going to gloat. I'm not going to do anything. And, hey, man, how can we not feel great? We're not wearing collared shirts. We got the hats on backwards. Colin Coward's probably killing us right now on his little show over in Fox Sports. And, you know, we got great hair, but, you know, it's hard to maintain this stuff all the time. So the backwards hats will do.
Yeah, we're backwards hat guy. I'm the backwards hat guy. Imagine him going to meet – shut up, dude. He can be whoever he wants. He's a franchise – well, I don't even know anymore if he's a franchise quarterback. But that's neither here nor there. We're not going there. I went 4-0 the week prior. You went 4-0. Another team or entity trying to go 4-0, the Chicago Bears, man. And after this quarterback change, they got to be feeling good. How you feeling in this matchup against the Colts? The Bears are 3-point underdogs here. Surprising. What do you say here, Thomas?
This is crazy, man. You know how much I hate Phillip Rivers, and he's a favorite going to Chicago. He really hasn't been great this year. They've played the Jags, who they lost to on the road, then the Vikings, and then the Jets. So they haven't even played anybody. I don't understand this.
Yeah, I definitely think the Colts are overhyped. I got to roll with Big Dick Nick and the Chicago Bears money line. You know I don't mess with these low spreads. I definitely don't like the 2-point, 3-point, 2.5, 3.5, whatever it is. I never like messing with those low spreads. So I got to go with the Bears money line. I love this plus 120. Like you said, Phillip Rivers hasn't faced any good defenses, and here he's facing a legitimate defense, and he's going against a pretty good quarterback, at least a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and someone who's proven that, you know, he plays like he's got nothing to lose, and he plays with no fear, and I love it. So I think Nick Foles is going to come in and get this dub, man. Take that Bears plus 120. Thomas, give me your pick. You didn't give it to me.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm taking the Bears money line, man. I love it. And Nick Foles, this team looks resilient even without Nick Foles. They came back against the Lions, you know. As underdogs, they've in the 3 games that they played this year, they've been underdogs twice, and they've won outright twice. So maybe there's something going on like that. Or wait, why don't we just wait until they're down, then we live bet? Because we would be crushing it if we did that every week with the Bears.
True, they're already underdogs. So imagine live betting underdogs when they're getting crushed. We should definitely do that. I mean, that's our theory in basketball. Like, whenever the better team is losing at half, live bet them. So why not do it with the Bears? They're proving they can. Trubisky, Foles, doesn't matter. Now if Foles is healthy and stays healthy, man, I definitely trust him to, you know, get a comeback. So I like your theory, Thomas. Good thing you said it here because, I mean, you haven't told me that. I don't know if you've been doing that secretly the past 2 weeks and making money, but thanks for finally putting it out there.
Yeah, no, I haven't. But think about when they were down against the Lions and they were down against the Falcons. Like, those odds must have been ridiculous. Unfortunately, I didn't do that, but I'm going to start to think about it this week because you know how much I hate Phillip Rivers. And, hey, Nick Foles has won a Super Bowl. What has Phillip Rivers done?
Nothing. And he's been on some pretty good teams, had some pretty good skill players around him, and couldn't do anything. So that's that for Phillip Rivers. I think that's an absolute lock in my opinion. I think that might be the show's best bet, or at least best consensus pick of the week. Definitely I go against Phillip Rivers. I'm going to fade him as many times as I can this year. Someone that I have a hard time fading, but given a situation I got to, is Joe Burrow. And I'm going juicy this week, man. I like the Jaguars as underdogs. I like that plus 145. I think with their stinker that they had on Thursday night against the Dolphins, they already got their bad performance out of the way. And they have extra time to prep for this team. I think this is a lock too, plus 145. Definitely not messing with that low spread again. Got to go with the Jags. Thomas, you're making faces at me. What do you got to say about this one?
I'm not a Gardner Minshew guy, man. He's got the hair, he's got the mustache, but if he cut the hair and cut his mustache, we know who this guy is. He's got the Bud Light sponsor. Everybody loves him because he's such a frat bro, but he reminds me of like Baker Mayfield with less talent. And I know how much you hate Baker Mayfield, but Baker Mayfield's got a stronger arm, a little bit more athletic than Gardner Minshew. And I'm just anti Gardner Minshew. I think he's a backup quarterback at the most in the NFL. I think the Jags will eventually get Trevor Lawrence at the end of the season, when there's a draft and all that, hula, whatever you want to call it. But I like the Bengals -3. I think Joe Burrow has been playing really good, and this team has been close in every game, had chances to win in every game. And I think that their time to win is this weekend against the Jags.
Well, the Jags beat the Colts, who I guess now people are starting to see, or hopefully after this week they'll see that the Colts are a little overhyped. But the Jags beat the Colts, and not many people saw that. I think they're like 9-point underdogs at one point, so not many people saw that. And they played the Titans tight. They got whooped by the Dolphins on Thursday night, but we always know that weird things happen on Thursday night. So, like I said, I think them playing on Thursday night, having that bad game, like I said, the extra preparation for this team helps them. They were able to thoroughly watch Joe Burrow on Sunday. And, yeah, he looked good against a just beat up and underperforming Eagles team, but he had a tie. He's not moving in the right direction. People are saying he's moving in the right direction. And, yeah, I mean, his play is getting a little bit better. He's not, like, shocking the world. He's not going that crazy, man. What?
Come on, man. You were praising
Justin. I love Joe Burrow. I love him.
No, let me talk, man. Don't let me talk. Don't talk over me. Who are you trying to be? This isn't a political debate, Like, let me speak. But you loved Justin Herbert the week before. Like, you were giving him all these praise, and I think Joe Burrow has played better. So what's your deal? What is your standard for rookie quarterback? I mean, this guy hasn't had a preseason, so he's getting all of his reps now, and he's looked pretty good.
He is good. I like him. I just don't think that we can be so impressed with a tie against the Eagles. And he only put up 23. Obviously, the Eagles put up 23 as well. I think Gardner Minshew is capable of putting up more than 23. And I think he will against his bad Bengals defense. I trust Gardner Minshew to outscore Joe Burrow. When you go look at these two quarterbacks going against the defenses that they're going against, I like Gardner Minshew to put up more points than Joe Burrow.
I just don't. I'm doing a little JLC with that. But I don't know, man. I think it's Joe Burrow's time this week. I know they're 3-point favorites at home, but I'm not a Gardner Minshew guy, man. I'm not drinking that Bud Light this weekend.
So you're taking that spread then, or money line?
Oh no, I'll take the spread. Easy.
Okay, taking that -3. All right. I don't know. I gotta deal with the money line. I never like messing with these tiny spreads. If I'm wrong here, kind of just hope you lose by 1 point. I hope it's a 2-point victory just so you learn your lesson and take my advice for once. But whatever. Moving from the bottom of the AFC to the top of the AFC, we've got the New England Patriots going to Kansas City. Chiefs are favored by 7 points here. Thomas, how you feeling about this matchup?
Man, I know you just kind of misspoke, but if that was a 9-point spread, I was still going to take that. I'm taking -7 Chiefs. Lock that in, man. They look phenomenal. Andy Reid's the best play caller in the NFL, and this team, I don't think Cam Newton's going to be able to keep up with the high-flying Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't think so either. We know how brilliant Bill is, but at the end of the day, I just can't doubt this team. I apologize to you. I texted you because I couldn't believe that I doubted them, and I don't think that I can doubt them again. I got to go with that -7. It's juicy at -105, so I don't think this is one where I'm going to mess with the -310 money line. I'm definitely going to take the spread and got to roll the Chiefs, man. How can you not roll Kansas City after what we just saw Monday night?
When you texted me and you're just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I wanted to so bad, just like, you don't have an iPhone, but like leave you on read or read, however you want to call it. I say read, some says read, leave them on read receipts, whatever you call it.
We're not debating.
But I wanted to so bad do that like a 12-year-old girl does their little boyfriend in middle school, and I wanted to do it so bad, but I'm just like, this guy doesn't have an iPhone. I can't even do this to him.
Sorry, man. Samsung Life. I'm sorry for doubting you and the Chiefs. I felt like an idiot. I was watching the Ravens get pounded. I was like, I'm sorry for doubting you guys. This was horrible. I can't believe how much stock I put in the Ravens.
I also was like, oh, is he doing the whole thing like, oh, I'm sorry that they're losing right now, but then once the Ravens come back, I'm gonna text them. So I was just like, is this a trap? I was just
No,
like,
no, there's no jinx, and I knew, dude. I knew early on that game was over. I mean, Lamar couldn't get anything going, and Mahomes was in a rhythm early. The play calling, like you said, Andy Reid's the best in the business. I mean, they were just rolling. They looked phenomenal, man. I couldn't believe it, but I don't know. I think they're going to do the same thing. Maybe not a 14-point blowout, but I would probably take that 9-point spread. Like I said, if it moved up to 9 points. So I think the Chiefs win this one by 10 or 11 here. Got to go with that -7 comfortably.
yeah. And like I said, Cam Newton, I don't think he's gonna be able to keep up with these guys. He's only had one game where he's thrown over 200 yards passing, and that was against the Seattle Seahawks. And everybody has thrown wild against the Seattle Seahawks pass defense. So I'm not big on the Patriots this week.
Although it's a fun matchup, you got two former MVPs. Another matchup that we got with two former MVPs. We got the Atlanta Falcons going to Green Bay. Packers are favored by 7.5. It's a big spread. I know the Falcons have been blowing leads left and right, but this is a team that puts up points. Thomas, how you feeling about this big spread?
And I think after last week, man, I don't know how Dan Quinn still has a job. Do they just not have a guy that could be an interim coach? This is inexcusable. How do you keep blowing these insane leads every week? It makes no sense. Like what is going on? What is going on?
It's historic. Literally, it's historic.
I've never seen anything like it. It's unreal. And I think this guy, I mean, I personally would have fired this guy yesterday on Monday, and it's unbelievable. But I don't think the Packers are gonna, or I don't think the Falcons are gonna be able to keep up with the Packers. Aaron Rodgers looks so freaking good, and they're the second best offense. I don't think that they're going to go down early like all these other teams against the Falcons. I think they cover this, and it's a 7.5-point spread. And I know that's going to scare people, but I think this is one of the games where people think, oh, that's 7.5. I'm kind of scared of that. That's kind of a weird number. But I think this is just one of the games that they cover by like 2 touchdowns.
Well, I don't know. You always say scared money don't make money. Say whatever you want. I'm scared of that -7.5. I think I got to go with the Falcons plus 7.5 just because I don't think they're going to get blown out. I haven't seen them get blown out yet. So I think I like them to cover the 7.5. I think that's pretty safe. I think they'll be in the shootout. Maybe they get a garbage time touchdown when they're down by 2 touchdowns to make it a 7-point game, maybe a 6-point game, something weird like that. Last minute bad beat. But I think I got to roll the Falcons 7.5 a lot for such a high-powered offense. So, yeah, man, I got to fade you here. I think the Packers are going to win. They got to go with that money line if where I'm going to put my big money. But I might sprinkle the Falcons in my underdog parlays. I don't know. I think they have a weird shot in this one, man. I don't know. I have a weird feeling about this game.
I think like I said, I think the Packers easily cover this. And, hey, if you're feeling a little scared of that 7.5, buy it down to 7. The Packers have been averaging 40 points a game, and the Seahawks have the second worst defense in the NFL. So I don't think that's a good measure for being able to cover, even though it's, like we said, it's a weird number, 7.5. But I just think it's one of those weird numbers that the public thinks, oh no, that's I'm scared of that, and I think they end up covering for sure.
Well, we got to disagree, man. If not, it wouldn't be fun, right? You got to have some sort of turmoil and tension here on the show.
Hey, man, and when we do agree on things, which is rare, we're 4-1 as a consensus on this podcast, 4-1. So whenever we agree, we just need to put $100 on a 2-team parlay because that's about all we ever agree on is 2 teams on this podcast.
Well, I don't know why we don't do it here. Maybe we just single bet them all just in case, that one pops up when we get hot. But whatever. You better start listening, man. I don't know if people are taking our bets. I mean, I have a couple people that slide into the Instagram DMs every now and then. They ask us for our bets for football and baseball and stuff. So a couple people are listening. So hopefully we get some more followers soon. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter for our bets this weekend. But before we get there, Thomas, tell me, what's your best bet of the week?
Oh, my best bet of the week is the Tampa Bay Bucks -7. This is another weird number like the Packers, -7. People are going to be scared, but the Packers and Bucks, but the Bucks will cover this easily against Justin Herbert. I know the Chargers kind of have a decent defense, but the Tampa Bay Bucks haven't even hit their stride yet. And it really reminds me of, I'm going to go back to my roots. It reminds me of the Vikings with Brett Favre. They start off really slow in the beginning of the season. And then once they hit it, they clicked and they were unstoppable until, the rest is history. They lost the Saints. But I think this team covers this easily.
Well, that's a nice bet. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily tail it, but my best bet of the week is Saints -4. I think that this is a game where the Saints are going to come out and make a statement against a weak team. I know that they didn't do well against the Raiders. They looked very flat. Obviously lost to the Packers, but, it's a high-powered team. But I think they're going to come back, make a statement here. I don't think there's any way we're going to see this team just, start trending in the wrong direction and take it for Trevor. So I think the Saints are going to go out, blow out the Lions, taking that -4. Might even take some alternate spreads. Take them at like -6, -7. We'll see what happens. I might get a little crazy this weekend. So that's that. But Thomas, tell me, what's your underdog pick of the week?
Oh, we already previewed the game, but it's the Bears. Bears money line. I love them as an underdog. If you've been listening to this, you know how much I hate Phillip Rivers, most overrated quarterback in the last 20 years, going against maybe the most disrespected quarterback of all time. So yeah, I like the Bears big time.
That would be my underdog pick of the week, but just to give another one, unfortunately, like we discussed, but I love the Jags +145. I think that the Bengals are a little overhyped after this performance against the Eagles. Like I said, Jags have extra rest since they played on Thursday night. And Gardner Minshew's been doubted. He's at least covered the spread. So against this kind of team, I don't know, man. I got to take the Jags plus money. So that's my underdog pick of the week. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of Action Talk. Please be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Action Talk Bets. And please be sure to like and subscribe below.